Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here, and welcome to another review. And now we're taking a look at Leisure Genius's Spectrum version of the game Scalextric. Now, Scalextric is based on a popular hobby in which people use separate track sections which have twin grooves in them, one for two vehicles to race across, and two people would use controllers to control the speed of their particular car, and basically have races on your customized tracks. And this game is based on that particular brand, hence the reference to Hornby Hobbies down there. And Hornby are also known for doing a similar thing with railways or railroads if you're in the United States. But one wonders how much of this is going to be like the actual hobby. Let's take a look. Enter player name 1. I can't put 88, it's not letting me put numerical digits. Enter player name 2. Now, I just press return here because you'd only put a key in a second name if the second player was going to be controlled by a human. Player 1 joystick, no. Accelerate, brake, left, right, start. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I'll design a circuit. Load track, no. Please locate the start of the track. Horizontal or vertical? Vertical. So, as with the actual hobby, you can choose different track sections, and you've got things like skid chicanes. As you can see, as I said, in the actual Scalextric, there are two grooves which the cars occupy, and there are things like skid chicanes. If you look carefully, you can see that the two grooves actually go into one another, so there's a risk of a collision there. So those are little bits of obstacles that you can put into a course, even in the actual thing. Clockwise, yes. Let's do another one. Clockwise, yes. I will put a skid chicane there. Straight. Inner curve. And another one. Inner curve. See, it's very easy to design tracks. Banked curve. Clockwise, no. Ooh, nice. Clockwise, yes. In chicane. Out chicane. Yeah, This is simple enough to do. No track room. Okay, I'll delete. I'm using lifts to basically remove sections of what I'd already laid. I was obviously getting too close to the bottom of the screen there. Okay, so I'll do an in chicane there instead, and then an out chicane. No, that's not quite long enough. Let's try that one then. Right, hopefully I'll be able to do two standard curves anti-clockwise to join up these two. No, it's not letting me do it, is it? Lift. 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 Okay. Do another standard curve clockwise. This time an anti-clockwise one. No, it's not going to work. Lift. So we're doing clockwise, no. Right, I think I might be able to do this. Clockwise, no. No, it's not quite right. Lift. No, I said lift. Let's see if I can. That's not long enough. That's not joined up. Oh, it's joined up. Okay, it's letting me do it. Letting me save this time, so I won't save it. Number of laps, 2. I think that'll do. Opposition quality, I'll give it a medium. So I'm actually racing on the track that I've just made. You can see at the bottom there. Right, so I'm the yellow car. What the hell just happened there? I'm presuming it's trying to say that I crashed, but I was nowhere near the other player. Redraw track, yes. No, I will. So it's got some built-in tracks, so you don't have to design tracks. Yeah, that'll do. No. Number of laps, 2. Okay, medium again. Okay, let's get on with this. Pardon me. One thing I'm not sure about is how you're supposed to see chicanes in this. And on that track I designed, I didn't get far enough round to see how it did them. And also, how can that possibly make a great deal of difference when you actually directly control cars like you would in any other driving game? It's not like in the actual Scalextric, in which your cars are constrained to the built-in grooves in the track pieces. So it would have been interesting to see how that was handled. Oh, for God's sake. I'm sorry, that collision detection is awful. I was clearly nowhere near Mart W there. Yeah, alright, get on with it. Let's try a different track. Estoril. Ooh, bloody hell. Yeah, that'll do. No. 1. Let's see what easy is like. Just see what difference it makes. Shame there's no sound for the actual lights changing. But yeah, this isn't amazing. Oh, for God's sake! He crashed into me. Why can't he suffer? But apart from that, I actually can't see any difference between easy and medium. I see. If I select redraw track no, then it simply does the race you've just done. That's a bit confusing, really. Hey? I'm too afraid to get too close to Mart in case I have another collision. And there are no gears or anything like that. The scaling of the cars receding and coming into the distance and coming into the foreground isn't exactly particularly convincing, even for a Spectrum. Oh, now. What? I don't know. All I do know is that this isn't even remotely fun. Designing the course is actually better than the actual game. Let's do a different circuit this time. No, not that one. I mean, yeah, course designer's easy enough to use. Yeah, that'll do. It looks like a... No. 1. What the hell, I'll just try difficult because I just want to see what that's like. Oh, dear goodness me. This really isn't convincing. What? What? Oh, so he can crash. But my question is, what exactly is the difference between easy, medium and difficult? Because they all look exactly the same to me. Because it doesn't seem to be any more or less likely that one car's going to crash into the other. But this isn't at all thrilling or exciting. And it doesn't really capture the feel of the original hobby either. It's not even close. I mean, I've not played actual Scalextric, but I've played something a bit like it, which is a cheaper alternative, because the actual Scalextric brand can really quite expensive. Oh dear. I'm trying to overtake is a bit of a chore, because if you so much as graze the tyres of your opponent, then then you're done. And I clearly didn't hit the other car there. No, I don't like this. The only bit I like about it is the actual course design, and that's more fun than the real game. Okay, so I think I'm going to wind up the review here. Scalextric on the ZX Spectrum. Graphics. Well, for the actual design of the course, I can't really complain about them. They're deliberately kept simple, but you're just designing a course there, so you don't want anything too complicated. Otherwise, it's not clear as to what's happening, and it certainly seemed for the most part clear enough to tell whether or not you're actually joining a circuit completely enough to be able to complete it, and that's the biggest obstacle with designing a course in this. And I had, all things considered, I didn't have too many problems designing a circuit that fulfilled that requirement, and that it's just a shame I didn't get to figure out how the game actually handled the chicane aspects, especially as the grooves don't seem to even be considered during the actual gameplay. More about that later. Sound. Well, the only sound is the engine. You don't even get a sound effect for the car exploding. You just get a bit of flashing and then a bad luck, well done screen. I mean, apart from that, there isn't really anything. Gameplay. Well, as I said, designing courses is actually kind of fun in its own unique way. It's more fun than the actual racing, which is not really the way it should be. But ultimately, it doesn't feel like you're playing a Scalextric game. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that it says Scalextric, anyone who just walked into the room and saw what you were playing, they would just think you were playing some kind of generic car racing game, and I wouldn't blame them. Because apart from the actual design of the course, there's literally nothing about this that screams Scalextric. It's literally only the presence of that logo that makes it even remotely clear. Otherwise, I could literally be playing pretty much any car racing game. I mean, there are no grooves in the road, which is surely part of what Scalextric's all about. The way the road is animated isn't exactly convincing. I mean, even though the intro screen at the very start of the review had white lines in the middle of the road, these are clearly not present in the actual gameplay footage. So you barely even realise you're moving anywhere. It's left up to things passing by you on the sides, which isn't entirely convincing. And playing, I expect it's more fun if you're up against a second human-controlled opponent. But given how bad the collision detection is, I very much doubt that it would be that much more fun. And it doesn't really make use of the Scalextric license. I mean, at all. Apart from the presence of a course designer and 2 cars, that's it. Because it doesn't have the cars fixed to the within their grooves, and you have to there'd be bits where you'd have to be careful to ease off on the acceleration. No, even as a racing game in its own right, it fails miserably. So I'm going to give Scalextric for the ZX Spectrum 4 out of 10. It's only really the course designer that saves it, but that's not enough to save it from the doldrums, I'm afraid. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another video soon. Texie88 out.